All right, well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our What's for Lunch event today. I would like to give a warm welcome to Shannon Sims, Director of Sales and Retention at Health Alliance Northwest. Today, she will be discussing 6 simple steps to consider when choosing group health insurance for you and your employees. So now I'm going to go ahead and hand it off.
Yeah, thank you so much, Isabella, and thank you for those that are attending. I really appreciate the opportunity to have been invited to help educate members of the Wenatchee Valley community and business community to learn a little bit more about just a little framework around health insurance. I have been with Health Alliance Northwest since 2014. We primarily have represented Medicare Advantage plans for those folks that are in their retirement years, 65 and over. It doesn't mean that they're not actively still working. It just means that they qualify for Medicare. And then about 2019, we started promoting our employer commercial group plans. I promise health insurance can get very, very weedy. There's so much information. I promise to try to keep this very high level and to keep the presentation short and leave ample time for any questions that anybody may have. I have invited a couple of my coworkers to also attend. I know some about health insurance and they're really the subject matter experts who help people day in and day out. So if there's a question I can't answer, I have Terry Schoening and Leslie Peterson are also on the Zoom meeting to serve as my help and backup in any questions that I don't have an answer for. So with that said, I'll go ahead and pull up a slide deck that we created. Can everybody, I can't see you, so can everybody see my slide deck okay?
No, we cannot.
Okay, bear with me. I am sharing my screen. Okay, can you see it now, Isabella?
Yes, we can. Perfect.
Okay, let me minimize everybody here. So, okay, you can see it okay. It's always good to know when the technology is working, so I appreciate this. So again, my name is Shannon Sims, and I'm the Director of Sales and Retention for Health Alliance Northwest. And we are a North Central Washington-based health plan. We have an office right here in Wenatchee on 411 North Chelan Avenue. We took over the old Pioneer Title building, and we're really happy and feel very grateful to have a local customer service office for our members, as well as for folks just in general who want to come in and ask some questions and learn a little bit more. This is a beautiful picture of the Wenatchee Valley from Saddle Rock. I love this picture. I think I stole it from the Wenatchee Chamber website because to me, it just captures the diversity of our area. We've got the beautiful Columbia River. We've got the mountains, the foothills. It seems to me as if I'm just amazed at the changes in the Wenatchee Valley as businesses continue to grow and change and relocate. I personally live in Kashmir, and so as I drive into town every day for work, I get to see the new PUD building being built, and it just amazes me, and it just makes me really proud of the Wenatchee Valley and our business community, especially with what's happened in 2020 and 2021 with the pandemic. We're just such a resilient community, and we just continue to strive forward, and it makes it, as the Chamber says, a beautiful place for folks to come visit, to come play, or to relocate and live and grow their own business in. So that's what I see in this picture. And what I also see is just diversity. There's numerous sizes of businesses. There's numerous, types of businesses. And so the good news is that there's also many different types of insurance plans that business owners can select to serve them and their employees. But to make that decision, it can be very time consuming, and there's a lot of information, and sorting through that information can be fairly daunting. So today, the purpose of this Lunch and Learn event really is just to kind of give you a little framework that you can use to get started in the process. This won't answer every single question that you may have, but the goal is that you have a good step-by-step guide to get you started. So with that said, I promise not to get too deep in the weeds of information, because definitely no, I can do that. I want to keep everything really high level for everybody here. So we're just going to go through basically 6 slides of information. So when you are determining, say you're a business and you are not currently offering health insurance to your employees, but times are, very competitive to hire really good qualified staff. And so you think it would be a real good benefit and help with maybe employee retention and hiring good trained employees to be able to offer health insurance in addition to any sort of wage you're able to offer. So basically there's normally 2 different types of plan options. Small group fully insured plans are for employers who have 1 to 50 full-time employees. And then large group fully insured plans are plans for employers that have 50 plus employees. And fully insured really means that the insurance takes the full risk. As the employer, you're paying a monthly premium. The insurance is paying all of the claims. If for some reason you have employees that have significant health events, cancer, organ transplants, some sort of a real chronic condition, you're not managing that risk. You don't have to worry about it. You're going to pay your set premium every month, and the insurance is going to take care of you and your team. We do have, there are plans available. And when I say we, I'm just not talking about Health Alliance Northwest. It's important for you to know that there's numerous different carriers in our area to service your group needs. Some of those carriers offer a mid-sized plan. So it's large group could be 50 to 1,000 to 6,000 employees. You don't know. So some carriers do offer plans that fit employers who have 50 to 150 employees. These plans are all filed with the Washington OIC. The good news for you as an employer and your employees is that the OIC is very consumer friendly. And these plans normally have been vetted through the ACA, And so they all provide the essential benefits that you need for having prevention for your employees, so they can go in and get their annual wellness exams, their mammograms, their colonoscopies, et cetera. And those preventative services should be 0 cost sharing to the employees. So that's the good news about fully insured plans, whether you're small group or large group. Most carriers, some of you are business owners and you are the only employee. That is still a viable option. You're still considered a small group because it's 1 to 50 full-time employees. If you need help determining, say maybe you have 100 employees, but not all of them, you're not sure, are they all full-time? You hire seasonal staff. Maybe you are Mission Ridge and you're hiring seasonal staff for the winter, but they're working less than 30 hours per week and they're working just part-time, part of the year. So we definitely can help you, and any insurance carrier can help you determine whether those would be considered full-time or part-time. And normally as a business owner, you don't have to offer insurance to part-time employees. And then groups who are large, so they're large enough to really spread risk. Like I said, on fully insured plans, the health insurance plan takes all the risk. But some groups, they want to manage their own risk. They are saying, we feel like we're large enough to take this risk, and so we're going to be self-insured. And self-insured means that group pays for the claims that their employees are experiencing by going in and having, care. And so the group doesn't want to pay a high premium. They want to pay just a monthly, what's called a third-party administrator fee or an ASO fee. And basically what they're doing is they're paying just a small monthly fee, and then they're paying all of their claims. So they're self-insured. The claims dollars are coming out of their own pocket. And normally groups that choose to go self-insured, they are larger because, again, they have a lot of employees to spread the risk. Their employees do pay a premium, and the groups also pay a premium to themselves. And then they use those premium dollars to pay the claims. So some plans that maybe say you have 500 employees and you kind of think, wow, my fully insured premium continues to go up every month. Should I look at being self-insured? Some carriers offer what's called a balanced plan or a level funded plan. And that's where the group shares some risk and the plan shares some risk. And that gives you a year's worth of experience to see, are you really ready to be self-insured? So that's just another option. But Chelan and Douglas counties offer just many options to fit your business size and needs. So this is the start, is just determining your group size. I'll stop right here to ask, are there any questions? Okay, so after you've determined your group size, really the next thing to look at is what kind of plan do you want to offer your employees? Again, just like there's many different types of plans, there's many different plan designs is what I would say. So plan design is basically, you could offer your employees plans that start at a $500 deductible. So that means that the employees for diagnostic services, non-preventative services, are going in because they have a pain or they're sick or they're trying to control a chronic condition or they need a surgery. So they're going in for medical care because there's a medical need. Typically, you pay an upfront cost. The employee pays a certain amount out of pocket first, and that's called a deductible. Deductibles can range from, I see them, you very rarely see $250 anymore. Sometimes you see $500 deductibles, but typically we see them more around $2,000, $3,000, $3,500 deductibles. And then once the employee meets their deductible, they normally do have a co-payment for services after that, or they have co-insurance. So the difference between co-payment is is a set cost. You're going to go into your primary care doctor for to check your high blood pressure. And it doesn't have to go to deductible. Maybe on your plan design, you just pay a co-payment. You pay $25 to see that doctor. Or it can be deductible and then the $25. It just depends on the plan design. And then you'll see a lot of co-insurance, and co-insurance are for services like inpatient hospital stays, kind of more expensive type of services, diagnostic imaging, and those are usually a percentage of the overall cost of that care. So co-insurance is a little harder to forecast because you don't know what the cost of that knee replacement surgery is going to be, or your shoulder repair is going to be until after the surgery has been completed. So most all plans also offer out-of-pocket limits, and that means at a certain dollar amount, say you have a catastrophic health event, like you're diagnosed with cancer and you're having $7,000 chemotherapy treatments every 3 weeks, there's always a max out-of-pocket that says once an employee is paid this much out of their own pocket, or a health plan member, then the health plan is going to pick up the rest of the cost of that member or the employee's care for the rest of the year at 100%. So that's your financial safety net. That's just saying, like, at a certain dollar amount, you stop paying and the health plan pays the rest. And that protects folks from becoming financially bankrupt should they have a catastrophic health event. So you could pick various deductibles, various co-payments, various co-insurances, various out-of-pocket limits. Depending on what your plan design is, that's usually what sets the premium. So say you're going with a $5,000 deductible plan, your premium is going to be lower because the employee is paying more of the cost of care. But say you're going with a $500 deductible plan, your premium is probably going to be higher because the plan's picking up and paying sooner in that employee's care. So those are things, different plan designs really depend. That's what kind of drives the premium for fully insured plans. And so that's really important to look at. And what we see a lot of employer groups that we insure, Health Alliance insures, they typically will pick two plans. They'll pick one to offer employees that's where employees pay less upfront and have a higher premium. And then they'll pick a plan for employees who maybe they're very healthy, they're not utilizing a lot of diagnostic care, they just want to go in and get their prevention every year. So they may take greater risk and have a higher premium plan, so they're paying less in a premium. So we usually do see groups pick more than one plan to offer their employees. It depends on the group. You know, some groups pay 100% of the premium and the employee doesn't pay any. Some, you know, leave 50% to the employee. So it just depends on your group. So, but the good news again, just like in the different plans you can choose, is that there's different plan designs to meet your budget. So when you start to shop, you definitely want to, when you're working with a carrier, you want to have them quote you all of the plans they offer and what those premium amounts are. And then you can go through and kind of pick, okay, this is what our company can afford to offer our employees. And then maybe give your employees 2 plans for them to choose from, so that they have something to consider for their out-of-pocket cost for the premium and also for the plan when they use it. So I'll stop there and ask if there's any questions to this point. Okay, we'll keep going then. So next thing that you could consider offering are what are called HSA plans, health savings account plans. So what that means is that it's a plan designed to be paired with a health savings account. Typically, these plans do have higher deductibles, and typically folks who select these plans are saying, you know, I'm healthy, I take care of myself, I don't forecast that I'm gonna have any big procedures coming up. I just wanna go in, I wanna have my annual exam, I wanna have my mammogram, I wanna have my colonoscopy, I wanna have my preventative lab work done. And I'm just thinking I'm not gonna get sick or hurt. And so I'm gonna pick a higher deductible plan. And then with the savings, this tax deductible savings, I'm gonna take a portion of my paycheck and I'm gonna put it in a health savings account. And that way, if something did happen, I got hurt, I broke my arm, or my mammogram revealed that I had a lump and I needed to have a procedure, I have this savings set aside that I can use to pay for that. So we see it quite often. I personally have used these type of plans and found them very rewarding. I think what I like about these plans is that the pre-tax dollars, unused balances, roll over year from year. And so you don't have to use it in one calendar year like an FSA plan. It can continue to roll over, and then you're taking care of yourself. You're utilizing your preventative medicine. You know, you're watching your diet and your activities, and that way you're accumulating a larger balance to be used if an unforeseen health event occurs. And some of these health savings accounts will let you use the expenses for the folks that, you know, so for example, myself and my husband file a joint tax return, so we can use that account for me or my husband. So that's kind of nice as well. So any questions about how a health savings account works? Kind of how we talked about earlier, where one plan, you know, maybe you're going to give your employees a choice of a plan with a conservative deductible, say $500 to $1,500, and then you're going to give them a choice of a larger deductible, say $3,000 to $5,000. It's nice because then on those larger deductibles, that's where you would offer the HSA plans. It just, the employees need to know they're going to meet their deductible except for preventative medicine on any care. So there's just no set copays. You have to meet that deductible first. So here's a big one that I think is really overlooked by a lot of employers. And the reason being likely is because, you know, these are benefits that the health plans offer, but people are busy. You know, you're working, sometimes folks are working overtime. People are stretched pretty thin right now with the pandemic and supply chain issues and trying to hire for openings within your organization. But this area, I think when you're shopping for a health plan, is so critically important. You want to make sure that your carrier is offering really good cost savings wellness programs. So you really want to ask about that. And these aren't the big advertising things. You know, normally people look at premium and then they look at the benefit designs like we just talked about, and you shop that way. But really when it comes to an employee or a member's cost sharing, these are the type of programs that keep folks healthy and out of the hospital systems. And that's what we want. We want our employees to be healthy. This reduces sick days. This reduces them having chronic conditions that would lead to prescriptions and care, going into the doctor every 3 weeks to have your every 3 months to have your blood pressure checked, things like that, that all adds up. So I think it's really important to ask a carrier when you're shopping for a health plan, to talk about what are their wellness savings programs. Carriers can offer care coordination, and that means that if you have an employee that was diagnosed with diabetes and they're having a hard time controlling that diabetes, and navigating the health system and getting on the right insulin, et cetera, a care coordinator is normally a nurse who helps them navigate and get their diabetes under control and help them manage it going forward. You want to make sure that the carriers offer not just the preventative benefits that the ACA requires, but are there additional preventative benefits? Some carriers may choose to pay for a colonoscopy after a diagnostic fit test, and fit tests are where you kind of have done like this little pre-test to a colonoscopy. Colonoscopies can be expensive. Some plans choose to pay a diagnostic colonoscopy as screening because that reduces cost later for somebody having colon cancer. So gym memberships and discounts, there's no better way to keep your employees engaged than to offer them a discount to go to Anytime Fitness or Works or the Rack, etc., YMCA. And then, also, are there any discounts? Does the carrier offer any other incentives to keep employees wanting to go to the gym and stay fit? Do they get maybe an extra dollar amount every month to help offset the cost of their gym membership on top of a reduced gym membership? And then health coaching, that's just, in general, it could be physical or it could be mental. It could be dealing with stress of your work. You need somebody to talk to, you need somebody to coach you through that, or you want to make a diet change, or you want to lose a little bit of weight. Disease management is all about chronic conditions, and how would a health plan, you want to ask, how's this health plan going to engage with my employees? How are they going to help my employees be proactive? How are they going to help my employees find these programs and use these programs? And then care transition, that basically means you've had an inpatient hospital stay and you're transitioning back home. Who's going to take care of you? Who's going to make sure you get the proper nutrition, that you get to your follow-up appointments, and that you take care of yourself so you're not readmitted for an issue that could have been prevented with some care transition help. So don't overlook asking about these when you're shopping for a health carrier. These are very, very important. And I think almost just as important as picking a premium price for you as an employer and your employees. So any questions about these programs at all? Most carriers offer programs like these. They definitely offer them. Everybody's different. In the case of Health Alliance Northwest, we offer these on the very local level. All of these services are really done here in the Valley for us. So that's an important component for something to look at. Who's providing these services? Is it a third-party vendor? Is it the health plan themselves? And again, how are my employees going to engage with these type of services? Okay, so we know in our Valley that we have a lot of retirees that are actively working. Folks do work past their retirement age, which is typically 65 is when you can start drawing Medicare. So one of the things you could do to kind of really retain actively working retirees is to offer a Medicare group plan. And these are Medicare, first of all, for those who haven't aged into Medicare yet, we always celebrate it when our fully insured commercial health plan or self-funded plan members graduate to Medicare age, because Medicare, you've paid your Medicare taxes your whole life. So anytime you get a paycheck and you look on that and it says Medicare taxes, you've been paying in for Medicare. So by the time that you reach Medicare age, a lot of times those premium costs are much, much, much less than your employer group health costs. And so, it's a good thing to celebrate. And also a lot of Medicare programs have richer benefits. So they don't have as large of deductibles, et cetera. So there's a lot of options when you become Medicare age. What I'll leave you with on this particular topic is that for employees, small businesses, so small employers who employ 20 or less employees, which that's, I mean, as I walk downtown Wenatchee on the avenue, I see a lot of these type of employers. If you have somebody actively working for you who's Medicare age, they can go on a Medicare group plan, and they will greatly reduce your company's healthcare cost and that employee's cost. So we can help with that. It's a really neat benefit that we offer, and other carriers likely offer as well. And we're happy to help anybody when it gets to that stage for you. We do for our current groups that we have on, the Health Alliance has on, we always are actively looking and watching them age, our members age, and making sure they know their options when they get to that time. And the really good news about it too is there's no administrative cost for the group, and there's no underwriting for the member. So very affordable transition for folks. So something to look at if anybody's, attending this event and you are like, oh, gosh, Susie's 66 and she's one of my best employees and I don't want to lose her, maybe reach out to us and we can help with helping with some options for a Medicare group plan. And then this is the last slide I have. I know I've given a lot of information and I promise not to get in the weeds and to leave ample time for questions. So this is the last recommendation I have when you're shopping for a plan. One, I have two recommendations here. The first would be if you have insurance through a carrier, shop year to year. Your business changes year to year. I know it's work, extra work, and I know sometimes you may not have the luxury of taking the time to do that. But I think it's important to have your business looked at every year. Maybe your size of your group has changed. Maybe the demographics of your group has changed. Maybe just the business community as a whole has changed, where, as we all know right now, it's hard to fill and find attractive employees, and it's hard to fill some job openings right now. So, you always want to be looking to see what can you do. You pay well for health insurance for you and your employees, and you want to make sure you're getting the best for what you're paying for. So I always encourage folks to really look as they are renewing, just shop your options. And then how do you do that? How do you really look at other alternatives to what you currently have? We have numerous brokers and agencies here in the Wenatchee Valley to help people. A lot of the agencies that Health Alliance Northwest works with have been in business for 50 plus years. I mean, some of our agencies, I think, are right at 100 years. And so they know this community, they know the Wenatchee Valley, they know how to help people here, they know your business and your industry. And so we feel very fortunate to work with them, and they do a lot of the heavy lift for you. They'll go out and get quotes from all the carriers that fit your business needs. They'll put them in a side-by-side comparison for you, and then they'll really help you compare your options. And then you want to ask if you are seeking or you're working with a broker or agent, really ask them what their customer service experience is with the carriers that they represent. If they're having a very positive customer service, if that carrier is very responsive to them and follows through on everything that they promise, then that's probably likewise for your group. That's kind of the experience that you will have and that your employees will have when they seek care. So I think that's really important. And then ask your business network of customers who they use and recommend. Say you're a business who works with another business very closely, I would definitely ask them their experience and who they use and who they would recommend. And you can always also ask for testimonials if, somebody has like, gosh, I really like ABC insurance because they did this for me or they did this for my employees. I think that is really important. You can interview a carrier or interview a broker representing a carrier just like you would interview your employee or a potential employee applying for your job. So customer service means a lot, and it can remove a lot of headaches for you. So when the premiums are pretty comparable and you've really looked at the extra things like the fitness benefits and the health coaching, et cetera, then I think really customer service should be heavily weighted in your decision. That's what I highly recommend, because that's what's going to service you, the employer group, year round. is that customer service. So that's really what I recommend. And I just will open this up to any questions that anybody may have. I'm going to go ahead and click out of here and stop sharing. Okay. Well, Isabella, that was information. I feel like if I offer any more, it's going to be too much information. I hope that what I have been able to share is not too much information for everybody. What I will say is after attending this event, if you have any questions that I, Shannon, can help with, or if you have questions about this presentation, please know you can reach out to me. My direct line is 509-264-3056, or feel free to walk into the Health Alliance Northwest Customer Service Office. We again are on 411 North Chelan Avenue. We're open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and we're just closed from noon to 1 p.m. for lunch. And we're here to assist, and we're very grateful to be able to offer our services in the Wenatchee Valley and to work with folks like Isabella at the Wenatchee Valley Chamber.
Perfect. Well, thank you for everyone attending today, and thank you for the wonderful presentation you did today. Lots of great information, and I will be sending out an email to everyone that registered to attend with any additional materials if you would like, and then also Shannon's contact information directly. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close off today. So thank you for attending and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everybody.